Hey, what's up? I'm Taylor Heron, the founder of Sales Automation Systems. I just sat down with Camille, one of the co-founders of Xenia, which is a B2B SaaS product for hospitality businesses, typically like hotels and things like that, for like team or like task management for teams. They're a great company, great group of dudes, and just they've been wonderful to work with. And so I got to sit down with him. We've been working together now for about 2 months and kind of visit with him and gather his thoughts on just his testimonial on what has it been like to work with me? What was the sales process like? What was the implementation like? What results have been delivered to them, right? And it's pretty much just completely unedited. There's about 20 seconds in there that I did yank out. It was just dead air or whatever. But other than that, it's just straightforward. Here's what it is, so you can just kind of understand. I like to be a pretty straightforward person on what we're able to do for our clients and things like that. So I hope it serves you well. As another side note, I had to be in a coffee shop. Me and the wife are traveling in Boise, doing some mountain biking and some paddleboarding last week, and so we made best what we can do when we kind of live a little bit of a digital nomadic life, you know. So it's pretty cool. But anyways, hope you enjoy. If you need anything from me, there's links below so you can figure out all that stuff in order to find me. So, and I'm sure you're smart enough. So have a great day and enjoy.
Yeah, so came to Taylor through a highly recommended friend in the B2B SaaS space who had worked in growing early stage startups. Xenia was kind of at a point where we had really strong inbound demand, but also kind of an opportunity to perform outbound. We had previously failed at this internally because of the lack of proper systems and infrastructure set up. And initially when we had tried to set up cold outbound on our own and in a simple way by getting an automation platform and blasting emails, we had actually destroyed our deliverability, not knowing the in-depth operations that go into things. So we wanted to really do it right a second time. So we got introduced to Taylor, really with the need of, really helping us set up our emails properly in a way that we could maintain deliverability of our core domains, but also find a way to get out the volume we needed to get the responses to in turn drive new business via the outbound channel. So, coming with Taylor was really an initiative for us to stand up outbound as kind of an ancillary go-to-market for the business.
Awesome. Yeah. So basically you tried to do some outbound on your own and
Yep.
You started noticing deliverability tank, and it got so bad that it even started impacting your inbound leads or paying customers. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. And we had kind of given up on outbound because of that for a while and kind of didn't really believe in it at the time because we weren't sure what we were doing wrong. We're scared, and you kind of gave us the kind of guiding path to kind of get us on the right track, which has been unlocking some new business for us already.
Awesome. If you had to, and maybe it's hard to quantify, right? But like if you had to quantify what kind of losses, because these are like paying customers coming to your website to get your product,
Yeah.
and they can't even get emails from you, right? If you had to quantify like how much that was hurting your bottom line or whatever, like what would be your best guess or what comes to mind?
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard thing to quantify, but you have to think that, it's in the thousands of dollars of ARR for sure for us at this point, and you could view it as even 10% of your pipeline. I think that's kind of the way I would think about it, which could, depending on the size of your business, can be significant if there's a portion of your leads that aren't getting email communications, right? It could be more than that, depending on how important email is to your sales process. But for us, I'd say it was like, 5 to 10% of our pipeline being affected previously by this of our inbound channel, that is, and outbound was non-existent at that point.
Cool. Totally makes sense. So then what was your ultimate goal or expectations or your goal upon seeing our services?
Well, the number one thing was to, from a business lens for outbound to start generating a portion of our pipeline and gradually ramp that up over time. And logistically was to work with Taylor to build the system so we had the capability to do that operationally, both so we had, good reporting and visibility into what we're doing on the outbound side, but also so that we had something that could scale across new team members who were joining our team as we were rapidly growing as a seed stage business. So we really wanted to build an outbound infrastructure, not only that was, of course, going to generate an outbound channel for the business from a revenue standpoint, but also something that could serve as almost like a scaling process to new outbound SDRs who are coming onto our team.
If you could take your brain back to before you bought it, how likely did you feel that you would receive that desired outcome?
Yeah, I felt likely, but that we would receive that outcome, because I trusted Taylor in the sales process, right? I think that's kind of what was important to me. I felt like I could work with someone who understood what it's like to be an early stage company, who understood the sort of support we were going to need. So from that standpoint, I felt pretty confident. Prior to beginning a search, I was not sure at all if outbound could be a mechanism, but I was able to talk both the high level kind of objectives of outbound, but also get into the nitty gritty sort of technical implementation around what it takes to implement something scalable in our business. So I think the combination of Taylor, one, being able to understand our needs, but playing that good balance of being technical but also strategic on the sales side, makes a big difference as a co-founder when you're looking to trust a partner at this stage.
Yeah, for sure. When you're thinking in kind of in that realm, like, were there any guarantees or, I don't know, even additional vibes that convinced you that you were going to get what you were calling?
I think it was just the overall structure of the plan we laid out that kind of gave me conviction that we were going to get with what we were buying, right? We had a pretty systematic approach around the sort of process we put in place how we were going to achieve the outbound numbers and repair our deliverability. That I felt pretty good about that. And it wasn't just him saying that, oh, we're going to repair your deliverability. It was, here's steps 1, 2, and 3 in our process that's going to get you there, both initially to repair your kind of core domain that's affecting your inbound customers as well. But 2, what are we going to do so you can get the volume you need going outbound? So I knew that he had a good understanding of both repairing our current domain and kind of unlocking this new revenue channel. So I felt good about it, just given how well the process was outlined prior to jumping into things.
Cool. That makes sense. So you felt that because there was a good timeline and I knew what the heck I was talking about and I knew exactly what steps needed to be actionable.
Yep, that's right.
Stuff there. Okay, to jump back real quick to some of the results that you're getting before, and if you don't know these numbers off the top of your head, that's fine. But do you know just 4 different stats off the top of your head from your outbound? Do you know what your open rates were before, if you were even tracking those?
Open rates averaging, 30 to 40% open rates across our channels.
Right.
Yeah.
What about did you track like click rates? Or did you guys really funnel people towards like landing pages or anything like that? So keep it in.
Don't have click rates.
And then what about your reply rate?
Low, less than 1%.
Less than 1%. Okay. Yeah. And then did you guys track your bounce rates or unsubscribe rates by any chance? Keep it in it. A lot of people know.
We were looking at about 15 to 20% bounce rates.
Ooh, it's really high. You want to see that 3%,
I know. I get, yeah.
You don't know what you don't know.
Well, I know now.
Yeah, now you know. Now you're like,
yeah.
It's wild. I'm talking to a prospect right now, and he's trying to convince me that 20% open rates aren't that bad. But I'm like, come on.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. So then I'll ask just a couple formal questions, hopping back to before you bought, right? Was there a specific trigger event that caused you to buy? Did you consume any specific piece of content that got you to buyer's line, or was it just like we had a discovery call, we got the timeline and leaving it?
No, we knew this was something we wanted to execute on in terms of finding someone to help with our outbound.
Cool.
I would say it's one of the most valuable services that we've purchased. We did go through an evaluation. We spoke to multiple, call it outbound vendors and software platforms that could, help us kind of do this. And we thought Taylor was kind of the all-in-one solution to, be almost a consultative resource, but also construct the tech stack and implement these things for us. So we felt like we had a good partner in that other services didn't offer. And if we were to replicate that with other services, I think we would have been paying more and dealing with multiple vendors, which we just didn't have bandwidth for.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. All right. So now jumping to now, right? After working together, just the whole process kind of jumping into that frame, right?
Yep.
After about, I don't know, almost 2-ish months now of working together, what results have been produced for you?
Yeah. So we have had our outbound motion up, I'd say, for about 4 to 6 weeks or so. And in terms of just, a qualified pipeline, we've generated about around $75,000 of pipeline today. We've closed $5,000 of ARR, right? And it's still really early days for us, and we have not even maxed out the volume that we are positioned to kind of go for in our outbound today. And this is, to me, very, very unoptimized today. And I see this numbers continuing to go up in terms of the amount of pipeline that we're needing to generate. So in terms of us, like the ROI and like what we've got from Taylor is like, we're looking at least 10x to me at this point, right? Not knowing what the whole year outcome is, but I would say that, it feels like a no brainer. And if I were to go back on it, it was a service that we would absolutely go for. And it just, we're busier. We're at least booking, 3 to 5 demos per week from the outbound channel now of some point. Yeah. And, it's a combination of the methods that we've been using, and there's still a lot of optimization to be done on our side that Taylor's advised us on, but we're gradually phasing it in. So we see it as something that can continue to scale our business.
Cool, man. That is,
That's pretty good.
Great results. It's like the minimum I hope to produce for every client.
I mean, you see our reply rates.
Yeah, exactly. I'm able to log in.
You see our reply rates pretty good. Our emails are good too, though. I think that's another piece of it. Like,
just the system. You have to have a copy. You can't just scammy Joe and hope to get.
So we're thoughtful. We're thoughtful about our copy. We have a process around contact sourcing. We've implemented the systems that you've told us around verification to reduce bounce rates. And we have it as a channel. We've also used those same systems for multiple use cases within Xenia, right? If we'd like to send out a quick customer communication to our, call it, existing customer base, or announce a new discount on our product, we've been using the services you've built us for multiple avenues in our business that are not just driving revenue for outbound sales, but are also driving, call it, net revenue expansion within our current customer base.
That is awesome. So it's not just the cold outreach that the infrastructure is helping, right? It's also the ability to make sure that you're delivering to your warm customers.
I think one of the things that, like, having been in the software space, particularly within B2B SaaS, and understanding how hard it is to get in front of a prospect, having the peace of mind that that your email is delivering across all your channels is really important to us, right? To know that the hard fought messaging and positioning that you put out for your product is getting received, right? And I think it, when you previously have that fear of going to spam, it's like you could be putting in a lot of work into writing these custom emails and doing the good stuff, but if your deliverability systems and infrastructure aren't in the right place, it means nothing, right? So that's it.
That's been making the most sense to me is, like, imagine you're going to go play baseball, but you have a blindfold on and you have earmuffs on, and you don't even know if you're swinging. And the whole time the umpire, if he's not even letting
strike. Yeah, exactly.
You're just swinging, and maybe 20% of the time you're actually on the base. And how hard is it to get a hit when you're doing that, right? And so I feel like cold email infrastructure it's actually being able to be at the bat and not have a blindfold on and be able to see if you're actually making contact with the ball, or even if you're at the mound to even make your pitch, right?
For sure.
It's totally what it feels like, right? Cool. That is so cool. I love hearing this stuff, man.
I'm happy, man. I'm happy with it.
Awesome. Actually, no, here's an important question. After you bought, because actually, to summarize kind of the timeline, right? So even though we've been working together for 2 months, I had to build the infrastructure for a month, and we repaired your warm domains. But only the last month you've really been doing cold email, right? So, like, not massive results immediately, but after you bought,
I mean, for us, it's a massive result at our scale. It's relative, right? No, because of the size of our business, right? Like, I think, like, for us, like, generating $75,000 of pipeline pretty quick, it's a big deal for our business, right? Like, we're not a $10 million ARR business today, right? We're less than $1 million of ARR, so these numbers are meaningful for us, right? keep in mind our product is only in market, about 16 months.
Wild.
So
I guess after you bought, how long did it take you to feel good about your purchase? Was it
I think it was pretty immediate. I was feeling good about the purchase just, while we were building what we were doing, not just because of, the objectives, but the conversations that, you and I were having. That was important to me, that we were able to kind of talk about our objectives and, just talk about overall sales and software and understand how it was all related. So I felt comfortable from the very beginning, even before we started seeing pipeline results and what we had got.
Cool.
I felt very comfortable from the beginning. And you know that, man. We've been talking for a while. We've had a lot of just one-off conversations. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Things that you didn't know you also got those when you bought, right?
Yeah. No, I've enjoyed it. So we've known it from very early on.
Cool. I want to get some, even if it's negative, I'm all for it. I like criticism. I wanted to go into some things that, I don't know, so a question that comes to mind, right, is, was there any effort or sacrifice on your end that you had to make to engage with our services? Inconveniences, things that were annoying, even things that I could look, maybe making their social fine experiences just that much. Is there anything that comes to mind? I'd love to see that.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Next question. How would you rate my level of communication? Like 1 to 10?
10.
Awesome.
Very responsive, willing to get back to us, willing to actually not just, reply, but actually take action on these solutions and help us create communication within our team on what we're building with videos and processes and really clear documentation. So that's what I would say there.
Cool. From 0 to 100%, how much of what I sold was exactly what you received?
I would say 100%. I would say
Awesome.
honest, and that's honest, right? Like I don't think you overstepped or we're selling. Yeah.
I feel like the biggest thing when people are talking to someone who's in sales is they're like, cool, is this actually what I'm going to get? Or is this guy just trying to get me over the buyer's line? Right. And so just from a moral perspective, I've always wanted to engage in sales where it's like, I want that number to be 100% every time. So I'm just a man of my word because it's not like it's not, right?
Yeah.
So.
Hey, well, thank you for watching the video. If you want to put a meeting on my calendar, you want to learn more about our services when it comes to cold email infrastructure or consulting or sales automation systems, then all those details will be down below. If you want to subscribe, go for it. You don't have to worry about all the algorithm stuff. I'm not going to be pimping out my YouTube and growing it like crazy. I mean, who knows, right? But if you want to subscribe to see future releases or little bits of extra testimonials in the future, then you can go ahead. And of course, I'm always available if you ever want to visit or you need any help with any of this stuff. I'm happy to serve. So thank you and have a great rest of your day.